Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. Today we are going to be getting into the chart of NIO. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please take 2 seconds, go down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Doing those two things will ensure you do not miss any of the updates I've got over the next couple weeks on NIO. Some really exciting stuff happening not only with NIO, but broad stock markets right now as well. You're not going to want to miss any of the updates, so thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching this video. Let's dive in here to the chart of NIO. So I would say that right now, more than anything, NIO is kind of at a point of indecision. And to be honest, I'm looking at a chart that needs a little bit more data, relevant data, especially on the longer term time frames, daily and 3 hour. To kind of get a real sense of what is trying to happen with NIO. But you can see here, I'm on the, let's go over to the daily here. So this is the daily. It looks like we have broken the worst part of that downtrend, which you can see a little bit more clearly here on the 3 hour chart. And we are sort of at a point of indecision here where we seem to be churning between price points of around maybe $40 and up to $48, something like that. So it looks like we are trying to just potentially form a sideways channel of some sort, and whether or not that pans out and how long it lasts, I don't know. We can go over here and look at the momentum indicator and go to the daily quickly. So on the daily, again, the worst part of the downward momentum on the daily has been breached to the upside, slightly pointing down in the short term. But again, we sort of seem to be in this pattern of indecision, potential sideways chop, where I'm going to need some more data here really on NIO before I start picking a real direction in the stock. And definitely on the momentum line, I'm going to want to see a break back out above these levels. But, you know, churning sideways in here, again, is probably going to have price just wicking between these areas 48 to 50 and 40, somewhere $10 to $12 candles, I would say, on NIO is something that seems pretty realistic for the foreseeable future. And again, we're going to have to watch this very closely to see if and when we get breakouts of momentum, and as well as that sideways channel on price that's forming on NIO. But in the meantime, I do believe that it looks to me like there is a short-term play setting up here. So like I said, basically, just judging on the daily, 3 hour, longer term time frames, it looks to me like everything is neutral. So I want to dig into a smaller time frame here, and what it appears that potentially could be setting up here on the 3 hour. Let me get a closer look at this. So you can see here on this bottom, we broke out of this momentum temporarily on July 20th and had this nice pop up to the upside in momentum, which gave us NIO went from about 42.80 all the way up to 47.38, which represents obviously over 10%. Let me get out our ruler tool and see exactly what type of percent we're talking about here. Yeah, just about 10%, a little bit more. So that's kind of interesting, and I think that what could potentially be setting up here is a very similar scenario where we get this momentum to turn back here and get some sort of positive divergent bottom, which takes us either back to the top of said channel that we were talking about before in this area around 47.30, possibly even higher. That is definitely not out of the question. We just have to follow when NIO bottoms, which I do believe is going to happen. I'm just going to have to follow the price up, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to follow this trade and how I'm going to determine a top. Again, I'm just going to, if and when this turns up, I'm looking at this, I believe it's going to happen. Here's a closer look even at the 1 hour. You can see confirmation and breach to the upside on the 1 hour, and I do believe somewhere here this is going to bottom and start turning back to the upside, which would give a positive divergent bottom on the 1 hour chart as well as the 3 hour chart. So I believe that is in the works right now, and how far up that takes me I don't know, but my goal is going to be to catch the meat of this short-term run, because I do believe that after NIO pops there is going to be a modest, probably short-term pullback. So my goal is to capture as much of this move to the upside as I can in the short term. And I'm going to dive over here to the MACD chart, which I like to use a lot on shorter term trades. And you can see here, so we broke out of this MACD formed here in July 7th all the way. We got a confirmation of breakout on July 19th, and that's when we got this nice little pop in price from around 43 up to 47. Once again, let's get that ruler out and see what the profit was on that trade potentially. Yeah, around 9-10%, somewhere between 8 and 10% is reasonable on that trade at that time. But what appears again to be setting up here, I love to play these divergent bottoms. So we've got one in place here, and then I believe that that's what's happening here is this MACD is going to come down here, and we're going to start pushing back to the upside and have a secondary positive divergent bottom, which is going to have prices exploding back to the upside again. I believe at least to these levels here around 47.37 and potentially higher. The way I'm going to follow that to the upside is very simple. Just making trend lines on our momentum line of the MACD. I can show you that when the trade develops like I think it's going to. So I'm going to be looking for this MACD here to be turning to the upside somewhere above these levels here, somewhere above 9. And you can see here the alignment of our long-term MACD, which is this blue line and this black line, is kind of neutral. It's okay. Again, the daily 3-hour chart on NIO, very neutral. So I feel that diving in here to this really small time frame chart and trying to fish a bottom on this particular chart is going to have a very high degree of success with having prices on NIO pop back to the upside in the short term. You can see we got that really big sell-off on Friday. Lost about 4.5%, obviously down more than that at the low of the day, close to the open. So again, I do think that when this trade sets up, and it looks like we may have a little bit more to the downside here. Let's see, 26th, 27th. So I'm thinking maybe sometime between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, NIO's got a nice opportunity here to have this MACD form a positive divergent bottom and have prices pop to the upside somewhere between 8 and 10%. We'll be following this trade closely. Just again on NIO, basically neutral in the midterm, but it looks like there's a potentially very nice short-term profit opportunity setting up here, which I do like to look for these from time to time while I'm waiting for the sort of midterm opportunities on stocks to set up. So that's basically my analysis for now. Kind of neutral, short-term, midterm with a potential short-term swing trade setting up early next week. That's basically it, guys. I'm going to show you this trade live as I work through it. I've got one other trade, short-term trade I'm also trying to set up on AMC early next week. So I've got a couple I'll be working on and showing updates on the channel. You're not going to want to miss any of those. Those are going to be kind of fun and exciting. So if you have not yet done so, please, please, please jump down below, 2 seconds, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you don't miss any updates on NIO, broad stock markets. Really cool, really fun, really exciting stuff happening over the next few weeks in the stock market. Thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to seeing you on the next NIO update, and bye for now.